Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about their new Star Wars TV shows, their new Star Wars movies in the works, as well as other projects that Disney and Lucasfilm are currently working on as we speak. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that yes, we do know that George Lucas, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni are all working together as a team to deliver as much authentic material as possible, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Given that Kathleen Kennedy now has little to no creative power, she's only working on the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series, and that's it. This really does give them the open opportunity to really bring Star Wars back to the way it used to be before 2012. We're talking about before the Kathleen Kennedy era, as I like to call it, before Disney took over Lucasfilm, and before the days of when George Lucas trusted Kathleen Kennedy. So here we are in the very end of 2020. We got 3 months remaining, until we pretty much enter into 2021, which is where we're going to learn more and more about this new Star Wars universe and where things are really going, and how Disney's going to make more official announcements next year on this franchise that's ever evolving. Now, on top of all of this, what's really intriguing all has to do with, of course, Lucasfilm's George Lucas, alright? Now, George Lucas is the man who created Star Wars from the very beginning, and now he's taking things back. That's exactly what he's doing alongside, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, Bob Iger, and Chapek. So, everything related to Disney Plus and the theatrical releases like the Star Wars movies, this is exactly what we're going to be diving into. Now, with that being said, of course, what's really exciting is that with both Disney and Lucasfilm now finished with the Skywalker saga, they are now embraced with the new Star Wars TV shows and movies to debut in the near future. It's explained that as of right now, creators George Lucas, Dave Filoni, and Jon Favreau are hard at work on developing the new mythologies of the Star Wars universe for the fans to witness. It's explained that behind the scenes, creator George Lucas is working on bringing back a very important era within the Star Wars franchise. That being the Old Republic timeline that is going to be reworked into the form of television and eventually movies, where it's explained that George Lucas is on a mission to explore characters like Darth Revan, Darth Malgus, and others in the form of live action on Disney Plus and in theaters. So let's stop right here for a second. You guys may recall we went over this a couple of months ago that initially Kathleen Kennedy was going to bring back the Old Republic / Knights of the Old Republic, and that she was going to do a lot of terrible and horrible things to the characters that we all know and love in there. Such as, gender swapping some of the characters or completely changing the overall design of the characters. That to me, I think would have been devastating to the franchise. Imagine if they switched Darth Revan, for example, from a male to becoming a female. That's the kind of things that Kathleen Kennedy was trying to actually embrace with the Old Republic era. Now, I think that obviously the characters should remain as is, of how they are portrayed in the video games. Now, a lot of hardcore fans out there love the Old Republic because it's basically like medieval times of Star Wars. If you out there are a casual fan, I do suggest that you guys, at the very minimum, go ahead and watch the cutscenes of the Old Republic on the internet. I think that you guys will really enjoy it. It'll give you a sense of what the new Star Wars films and TV shows could really be like, and this is exactly what George, John, and Dave are going to do. They're going to embrace the Old Republic era. Now, beyond all of this, Lucas is also involved with the development of projects that will involve fan-favorite characters like Darth Bane, and not just that, however, but also Lucas is said to be working closely with Kevin Feige on the new Star Wars films, and that Lucas is going to be inserting hundreds of Star Wars Legends material into the new Star Wars movies in order to satisfy the Star Wars fans around the world. As for TV shows, Lucas is actually described to be in the process of reviving his Star Wars Underworld TV show that will take place on the world of Coruscant and other worlds after the events of Order 66, divided into the crime lords, bounty hunters, and other dangerous characters in the Star Wars universe, to show the fans a completely different side of the Star Wars brand. George Lucas is said to allow creator Dave Filoni to make key decisions on the Star Wars Underworld TV series that will explore brand new characters and worlds never before seen by fans. Beyond this, it's explained that George Lucas is allowing Steven Spielberg and hiring him to become an executive producer on the Star Wars Underworld TV show for Disney Plus that will make it very rich in material in order to make that, of course, things right with the Star Wars fans. Lucas is also busy with a brand new cut of The Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi that is aimed to be released sometime in 2022 on Disney Plus in order to reset the sequel trilogy movies. So once again, alright, the Star Wars Underworld TV show was a TV show that he was working on, I would say back in 06 or 07. Before it was cancelled, it was actually set to be a TV show after the events of Order 66. Now he's going to revive all of this. So here's the thing about the Underworld TV show, is that we also know, and we talked about this not so long ago, is that Kathleen Kennedy also was reviving this project with her own set of rules and her own creative decisions on how it would all be done. Kathleen Kennedy had her own version of Star Wars Underworld that was actually going to come into fruition if Bob Chapek did not intervene. That, to me, I think would have been a true, disturbing moment for the Star Wars fandom. I think a lot of fans would have had a very hard time accepting Kennedy's version of Underworld. So, now we're in this scenario where George Lucas is allowing Steven Spielberg to take over the role as executive producer and really kind of just handling the new Underworld TV show that is going to be released in the next couple of years. Honestly, I'm very excited to see the crime lords of the Star Wars universe. It's very possible, by the way, that we're going to be able to dive more into the crime syndicate led by Darth Maul. When you think about it like this, after Order 66, there is so much Darth Maul material to be explored. Crimson Dawn is most likely going to be inserted into the Underworld TV show. So, beyond this, of course, Lucas is actually said to be working on not just that, but also be working with Filoni on creating a microverse within the new Star Wars universe that will be TV shows created by Dave Filoni in the near future that will also attach to Jon Favreau's work in the Star Wars universe. It's said that Lucas also plans to bring back iconic character Mara Jade into the new Star Wars universe in order to reset Luke Skywalker's life in the Disney Star Wars canon. That will be a big, risky jump by Lucas to bring her back in the form of live action. All of these new projects have already been greenlit by Lucasfilm and are currently in the pre-production phase, as Lucasfilm hires tons of new creators to take on the workload of new Star Wars projects that will arrive in the next couple of years to come. Now, George Lucas is already in the talks with Steven Spielberg on how he will be working on Star Wars Underworld in order to make it as authentic as possible to Star Wars fans around the world. So once again, I think that Lucas really knows what he's doing here. He really knows exactly what the fans want and what they really enjoy. Now, everything related to Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and Steven Spielberg now. Spielberg, by the way, I think was a great move by George Lucas to allow him to hop on board as executive producer for the Underworld show. The Underworld series, mind you, it was an older idea back in 06 to 07 before it was completely scrapped. We've seen the leaked test footage. I'm sure that you guys have seen it. Amazing material. It's very safe to say that it's going to be similar to that type of look and type of feel. So for George Lucas to embrace that and really revive it, I think is another big step. The other big step here is The Old Republic. The Old Republic is a show and a set of movies that George Lucas is really, working on as we speak with Favreau, Filoni, and others, and it's going to introduce characters like Darth Revan, Malgus, Darth Bane. Can we really ask for anything more? That's really where it's all at. That's the exciting material that fans have been asking for a number of years now. And this really is a good decision by George Lucas. So, like I've said before in the past, I think that we really are on a successful route to Star Wars. So let me know what you guys think about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.